Captain Olivia Mercer stood on the bridge of the ISS Valiant and looked out at the stars. The main screen showed hundreds of enemy ships surrounding her vessel. They were everywhere, small fighters, large battleships, and everything in between. All of them belonged to the Galactic Union, and all of them had their weapons pointed at the Valiant. The Valiant was the pride of Earth, the most advanced battlecruiser humans had ever built. But even the most advanced human ship seemed small compared to a fleet of 300 alien vessels. Olivia took a deep breath. She had trained for difficult situations, but nothing quite like this. Lieutenant Samantha Wright spoke from her station. Her voice was steady despite the danger they faced. "Captain, the Union ships are sending a message. Put it on screen," Olivia said. The screen changed to show the face of an alien Admiral Kez Tal was his name. He belonged to a species called the Zarkathians. They looked like tall lizards with 4 eyes and clicking mandibles. Their skin was green with patches of blue human vessel. Admiral Kez Tal said, his voice deep and full of confidence. "This is your final warning. Surrender your ship and crew immediately. You have entered restricted Union space. You are outnumbered and outgunned. Resistance would be foolish." Olivia kept her face neutral, but inside her mind was racing. The Valiant was not supposed to be in combat. Not yet. The ship and its new technology were still being tested. "Actually, Admiral," she said, "we are in neutral space according to the Treaty of Centauri. Your blockade is illegal." The alien admiral made a sound that might have been laughter. "Your primitive species always hides behind treaties when confronted with superior force. We have 300 ships. You have 1. The treaty is what we say it is." Olivia looked around at her crew. Chief Engineer Catherine Lopez was at her station monitoring the Experimental Drive Corps. Tactical Officer Morgan Bell studied the enemy fleet. Movement Science Officer Dana Lewis analyzed data from the sensors. Everyone was tense but ready. Olivia had a decision to make. She could surrender and avoid bloodshed, but that would mean giving the Union access to the Valiant and its revolutionary technology. She could try to escape, but the Union ships had them surrounded. Running would mean certain destruction. She could fight. But how could one ship defeat 300, Admiral? "I request time to consult with Earth Command," Olivia said, stalling. "For time you have 10 minutes, Admiral Kez Tal replied. "Then we board your vessel by force." The screen went black. 10 minutes, Olivia said to her crew. "I need options. We could try to send a distress signal," Morgan suggested. "But the nearest Earth ship is 3 days away. We could activate the new system," Catherine said quietly. Everyone on the bridge turned to look at her. "The quantum displacement system. It might give us a chance." The QDS was the reason the Valiant was so special. It was a technology, stolen from a crashed alien ship and improved by human engineers. In theory, it could make the Valiant appear to be in multiple places at once. It could also allow the ship to fire weapons that existed in several quantum states, striking multiple targets with a single shot. But it had never been tested in actual combat. "It's not ready," Catherine added. "It's still experimental. What would happen if we tried to use it?" asked Olivia. "Best case scenario. We confuse them long enough to escape. Worst case, the drive explodes and we all die," Dana spoke up from her science station. "The Union does not know about the QDS. They think we are just a standard cruiser. That gives us an advantage." Olivia considered her options. She thought about her orders. Admiral Eleanor Woods had been clear the Valiant was too valuable to fall into enemy hands. If capture was inevitable, Olivia was to destroy the ship captain. "We are receiving a transmission from Admiral Kez Tal," Samantha announced. "He says our time is up." Olivia made her decision. "All hands battle stations," she ordered. "Power up all systems. Prepare for combat." Catherine looked worried. "Captain, the QDS has never been tested in battle conditions." "I know," Olivia said, "but we have no choice. Prepare to activate the quantum displacement system." The crew moved with purpose. Fear gave way to focus as everyone performed their duties. The Valiant hummed with power as systems came online. Weapons charged, shields strengthened, engines readied. "Put the Admiral on screen," ordered Olivia. Admiral Kez Tal appeared. His mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. One human ship against the might of 300 Union warships. Your species' arrogance is legendary. This is your last chance, Olivia said. Leave neutral. Space now. We do not want conflict. The alien admiral stared at her. His four eyes blinked in different patterns. Your primitive vessel does not concern me. Captain. Your threats are empty. Livia nodded to Catherine, who began the QDS activation sequence. Then let me show you why you should be concerned. Admiral, deep inside the Valiant, special equipment powered up systems that defied normal physics began to work. The ship shuddered slightly as reality itself bent around the hull and the tactical display. The Union fleet had arranged themselves in a pattern Morgan recognized. Standard attack formation. They call it the Tholian web, she said. They use it to trap and destroy single ships. Perfect, said Olivia. That puts them exactly where we want them. Admiral. Kestal was still on screen. Our boarding parties are ready, Captain. Your resistance is noted, but futile. Olivia smiled for the first time. Admiral, I should warn you. The ISS Valiant is not a standard cruiser. The alien leader was about to respond. When Dana called out from her station, Captain, I am detecting massive energy fluctuations. The QDS is working. Activate the Prometheus protocol, said. Olivia. Catherine entered the final commands. The quantum displacement system came fully online. Around, the Valiant space seemed to ripple and distort. The Union sensors would now be detecting something impossible. The Valiant was no longer in just one place. It appeared to be in several places at once. On the screen, Admiral Kestal looked confused. What trickery is this, he demanded. No trickery, Olivia replied. Just advanced science. Morgan, target their forward vessels. Weapon systems only. We disable, not destroy. Morgan nodded and locked onto multiple targets. Phase shift torpedoes armed and ready fire. The Valiant launched its special weapons. Instead of traveling in normal space, the torpedoes existed in multiple quantum states. A single torpedo could hit multiple targets, each moving along a different quantum path. The Union fleet had never seen anything like it. They had no defenses prepared. 30. Union ships suddenly reported weapons failures. Another 40 lost engine power. Small explosions blossomed across their hulls. Nothing fatal, but definitely damaging. On the Valiant. Catherine watched her instruments with worry. The system is getting hot, she reported. We cannot maintain this many quantum states for long. 2 more minutes, said Olivia. Morgan. Target their communication systems. Next, Admiral Kestal was shouting orders to his fleet. But chaos had taken hold. Union ships fired at the multiple images of the Valiant, their shots passing harmlessly through quantum ghosts. Meanwhile, the real Valiant continued to launch phase-shifted weapons, each shot hitting multiple targets. The Valiant shuddered as the QDS reached its limit. Captain Catherine called out, "The system is overheating. We need to shut it down soon or risk a core breach." "How many ships have we disabled?" asked Olivia. "Nearly half the fleet," Dana replied. "And the others are breaking formation. Some are retreating." Admiral Kestal appeared on screen again, his composure broken. "What abomination have you humans created? This violates natural law." "No," Olivia replied calmly. "It's just physics. You don't understand yet." The Valiant fired one last barrage, this time targeting the Union's flagship, not to destroy it but to disable its main power. Its shields flickered and died. Admiral Olivia said, "You have seen only a small demonstration of our capabilities. Your fleet is in disarray. Half your ships are disabled. Would you like to see what happens when we use the system at full power?" The alien admiral stared at her. His species was known for never backing down, but they also respected strength. The Union had believed humans to be technologically inferior, easy targets for expansion. Now that calculation had changed. Enough, the admiral finally said, "We will withdraw." But the Union Council will hear of this provocation. They will hear how a single Earth vessel enforced established law when confronted by 300 warships. Olivia corrected. Tell them Earth is not as defenseless as they believed, as the Union fleet began to retreat. Catherine shut down the QDS. The Valiant returned to normal space. The quantum ghosts disappeared. The crew of the Valiant watched in stunned silence as the enemy ships moved away. "We did it," whispered Samantha. "We actually did it." Olivia nodded, looking at the retreating fleet on the screen. "Yes, we showed them a new side of humanity and changed the balance of power in this part of space forever. The real work begins now." 2 days before the confrontation with the Galactic Union fleet, Captain Olivia Mercer walked through the underground base beneath Cheyenne Mountain. Her footsteps echoed in the long concrete hallways. This facility had existed for centuries, first as a Cold War bunker, then as a space command center. Now it housed the most classified projects of Earth fleet. Command security scanners checked Olivia's identity at every doorway, each requiring higher clearance than the last. Finally, she reached a room marked only with the number 7. The door slid open, revealing a large circular chamber with holographic displays covering the walls. Fleet Admiral Eleanor Woods stood in the center of the room. She was a tall woman with silver hair and dark skin. Her uniform was decorated with medals from many campaigns. She had protected Earth interests in space for over 30 years. She was also Olivia's mentor, Captain Mercer. "Welcome to Project Prometheus," Admiral Woods said, extending her hand. Olivia shook it. "Admiral, it's good to see you, though I wish the circumstances were clearer. My crew and I were pulled from shore leave without explanation. The Valiant hasn't even completed its shakedown cruise." The Admiral nodded. "I apologize for the secrecy, but what I am about to show you cannot leave this room." She pressed a button on her wrist device and the holographic displays came to life, showing technical schematics of the ISS Valiant. "The Valiant isn't just a ship," Captain Mercer, Admiral Woods explained. "It's the first vessel equipped with the quantum displacement system." Olivia studied the complex diagrams floating around her. "The theoretical technology based on Dr. Allison Dawson's work. I thought that was decades from practical application." "Had a breakthrough," Admiral Wood said. "The QDS creates localized temporal distortions around the ship. To an outside observer, the Valiant can appear to be in multiple locations simultaneously. But that's not all." The hologram shifted to show the weapons systems. "Our new phase shift torpedoes can track targets through the quantum field. One torpedo can strike multiple targets in what appears to be the same moment of time." Olivia's eyes widened as she grasped what this meant. "We could engage multiple hostiles simultaneously, making it appear as if we're everywhere at once." Admiral Woods nodded. "The Union doesn't know we have this. They think we're still struggling with basic warp technology." Her expression turned serious. "Your mission is to test this system in real-world conditions. The Union's aggressive expansion needs to be checked and a demonstration is required." "Demonstration?" Olivia repeated. "You're sending me out as bait. I am sending you out as humanity's best hope for avoiding a full-scale war." Woods corrected. "The Union respects power. Nothing else. Show them ours, but with restraint. Minimal casualties if possible." Olivia nodded, accepting the responsibility. "What's my cover?" "Routine patrol in the Arcturus sector. We have intelligence suggesting the Union will attempt to test our resolve there. When they do, I show them why they shouldn't." Olivia finished. "Exactly," the Admiral said. "Let me introduce you to the team that made this possible." A side door opened, and 3 people entered. The first was a woman in her 60s with short white hair and glasses, Dr. Allison Dawson, chief scientist. She said, shaking Olivia's hand, "The quantum displacement theory is my life's work." The second was a younger woman with dark hair tied back in a tight bun, Patricia Lynn, weapons specialist. "The phase shift torpedoes are my contribution to the project." The third was a tall man with an artificial arm, Dr. Victor Reyes, engineering lead. "I designed the integration systems that make the QDS work with your ships." Power core. Dr. Dawson activated a new hologram, showing a complex series of equations and diagrams. "Captain, the QDS works by exploiting a quirk in quantum mechanics," she explained. "Objects at the quantum level can exist in multiple states simultaneously, until observed. We found a way to extend this phenomenon to macro-scale objects like your ship Patricia. Lynn continued. The phase shift torpedoes work on the same principle. They exist in quantum superposition, allowing them to travel along multiple trajectories simultaneously. One torpedo can hit up to 15 targets if they're clustered close enough, and the power requirements asked. Olivia Mentz Dr. Reyes admitted, the system will drain your main reactor quickly. You'll have minutes, not hours, and the heat buildup is substantial. We've installed additional cooling systems, but they have limitations. How well tested is this system? Olivia wanted to know. Admiral Woods exchanged glances with the scientists. We've tested it on smaller vessels, in controlled conditions, but never on a ship the size of the Valiant and never in actual combat. So my crew and I are the guinea pigs, Olivia said. The test pilots, Admiral Woods corrected, and potentially the saviors of Earth. The Galactic Union has been expanding aggressively for the past 5 years. They've absorbed 12 independent worlds, some willingly, others through coercion. They view Earth as technologically inferior, an easy target. Olivia walked around the holographic display, studying the Valiant's modified systems. I understand the stakes, Admiral. But my crew deserves to know what they're getting into. Only your chief engineer needs to know the full details. Woods said. The rest can be briefed that you're testing new defensive systems. Keep it vague for security. Dr. Dawson approached Olivia. Captain, there's something else you should know. The QDS is not just a weapon, it's a doorway to understanding reality itself. The applications beyond warfare are enormous, faster than light travel, instantaneous communication, possibly even time manipulation. The military application is just the beginning. Olivia looked at the elderly scientist. Your life's work is being used as a weapon. First, Dr. Dawson. How do you feel about that? The scientist smiled sadly. Sometimes you must protect knowledge before you can expand it. The Union would suppress this technology if they knew about it. They've done it before with other species. Admiral Woods moved to a different display. This one showing star. Charts the Arcturus sector is where we believe the Union will make their move. Intelligence suggests they've assembled a significant fleet there. Your orders are to patrol the sector. If confronted, you are authorized to demonstrate the QDS capability, and, if the system fails, asked Olivia. The Admiral's face hardened. The Valiant cannot be allowed to fall into Union hands. If capture is inevitable, you must destroy the ship. That's a direct order. I understand, Olivia said. Later, Olivia met with her chief, Engineer Catherine Lopez, in a secure briefing room. Catherine had been with Olivia for 3 years. They trusted each other with their lives. Catherine studied the technical specifications with growing amazement. This is incredible, she said, but also terrifying. The power fluctuations alone could fry our systems and the quantum field generators. These are barely out of the theoretical stage. Can you make it work? Asked. Olivia Catherine ran her fingers through her curly hair. I can try. But Captain, this technology, it's like giving a lighter to a caveman. We're playing with forces we barely understand. That's why I need you, Kathy, Olivia said. You're the best engineer in the fleet. If anyone can make this work, it's you. Catherine sighed. The Union has been bullying smaller systems for too long. I suppose it's time someone stood up to them, but this. She shook her head. I'll need to modify our cooling systems, add emergency buffers. If the quantum field collapses while active, the energy release could vaporize the ship. How long do you need? Catherine thought for a moment. 48 hours minimum, and I'll need access to your best engineers. You have 36 hours and whatever resources you require. Olivia said. The Valiant departs for the Arcturus sector tomorrow night. That evening, Olivia sat alone in her temporary quarters at Cheyenne Mountain. She reviewed the mission parameters again. The Valiant was to enter the Arcturus sector, perform a standard patrol and wait to be intercepted. By Union forces, intelligence suggested they would send a significant fleet to test Earth's resolve. A show of force meant to intimidate. But instead of being intimidated, the Valiant would reveal humanity's new technology. A controlled demonstration to make the Union reconsider their expansion plans. It was a dangerous game. If the QDS failed, the Valiant would be destroyed or captured. If it worked too well, the Union might view Earth as an existential threat and launch a full-scale war. Balance had to be perfect. Olivia thought about her crew. Most had families on Earth. None of them knew they were about to test an experimental weapon system against hundreds of enemy ships. Should she tell them? Give them the choice to transfer off. The ship, no. Her orders were clear. Security was paramount. Soft chime indicated an incoming message on her secure terminal. It was from Admiral Woods. Additional intelligence Union fleet in Arcturus sector now numbers approximately 300 vessels. Proceed. With caution 300 ships. Olivia felt a chill. Despite the amazing technology they were testing, those were impossible odds. No wonder the Admiral had given the self-destruct order as a contingency. The Valiant was carrying technology that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. If the Union captured it, Olivia closed the terminal and looked out her small window at the night sky. Somewhere up there, 300 warships were waiting for her, and all that stood between them. And Earth was the Valiant and its untested technology. The next morning, Olivia visited Dr. Dawson's laboratory one last time before departure. She found the elderly scientist working on equations. Captain Dawson said, looking up from her work, "I expected you'd stop by. I have something for you." She handed Olivia a small data chip. "For your eyes only," she said. "If the worst happens, if the Union's about to capture your ship, use this." The ISS Valiant dropped out of warp at the edge of the Arcturus sector. The ship glided silently through space, its sleek hull reflecting the distant starlight. Captain Olivia Mercer stood on the bridge, her posture relaxed but her mind alert. She had been expecting the Union fleet. But the sight that greeted her when the sensors came online still made her breath catch. 300 Union vessels arranged in battle formation. Their hulls were a mix of green, purple, and black, the traditional colors of the Galactic Union. The formation was precise, almost beautiful in its deadly purpose. The ships ranged from small fighters to massive dreadnoughts, each one a marvel of alien engineering, each one armed and ready for combat. Tactical officer Morgan Bell spoke first, her voice tight with tension. "Captain, I count 307 Union vessels, including one Sovereign-class command ship. That would be Admiral Kez Tall's flagship," Science Officer Dana Lewis added. "They have weapons, charged and shields up. But they haven't locked onto us yet. They may be waiting to see what we do." Olivia nodded. "Keep us at yellow alert, for now. Show no aggressive actions. Lieutenant Wright. Open standard communications. Channels communications. Officer." Samantha Wright worked her console channel open. "Captain." She confirmed broadcasting standard IFF and registration. Minutes passed in tense silence. The Valiant drifted closer to the Union fleet. The massive alien armada made the human ship look tiny. By comparison, like a minnow swimming toward a school of sharks. Long-range sensors detect additional Union vessels on the edge of the system. Dana reported. They appear to be support and supply ships. "This isn't just a patrol, Captain. It's an invasion." "Force for which world?" asked Olivia. Dana checked her readings. "New Terra colony, most likely. It's the closest human settlement in this sector. Population approximately 20,000. Olivia felt cold anger rise within her. New Terra was a peaceful farming colony. It had no military presence, no strategic value. The Union was targeting it as a show of force. A demonstration of what happened to those who defied them. "Captain, we are being hailed," Samantha announced. "It's the Union flagship." Olivia straightened her uniform. On screen, she ordered. The main view screen changed to show the bridge of the Union command ship. Admiral Kez Tall stood in the center. His 4 eyes blinked in different patterns. His green-scaled skin glistened under the ship's lights. His uniform was decorated with symbols of rank and honor. "Human vessel," the Admiral said, his voice translated by the ship's computer. "You have entered a restricted zone by order of the Galactic Union Council. Identify yourself and state your purpose." Olivia kept her expression neutral. "This is Captain Olivia Mercer of the Earth vessel ISS Valiant. We are on routine patrol in neutral space as permitted by the Treaty of Centauri. I must inform you, Admiral, that your fleet is in violation of that same Treaty. The alien admiral made a sound that the translator interpreted as laughter. Treaties are for equals. Captain. The Union has determined that this sector falls under our protection now. Your colony will be absorbed into the Union for its own safety. Olivia raised an eyebrow. New Terra is a sovereign Earth colony. It has no desire to join the Union. The desires of primitive species are irrelevant to galactic security, the Admiral replied. His mandibles clicked a sign of amusement among his kind. You have one Earth vessel. We have a fleet. Your colony will be absorbed. Your ship will be escorted back to Earth space or destroyed if you resist. These are your only options on the Valiant's bridge. Olivia could feel the tension. Her crew was professional, but they were also human. Faced with such overwhelming odds, fear was natural. But she also saw determination in their eyes. Admiral. Olivia said, I request time to contact Earth Command for instructions. The alien leader considered this. You have 30 minutes, Captain. Then we will take your answer as refusal and act accordingly. The screen went black. Captain. Morgan said, what do we do? They outgun us 1,000 to 1. Olivia turned to her chief engineer, Catherine. We need the QDS. Online now. Catherine looked nervous. The system is ready but untested, Captain. We have no idea how it will perform against so many targets. It's time to find out, said Olivia Dana. Scan the Union fleet, identify their command and control. Ships. Dana worked. Her console. Quickly, flagship is at the center of the formation, surrounded by 12 heavy cruisers. They appear to be linked by a communication network. It's standard Union tactics. They coordinate through the flagship. Samantha. What about communications? Asked Olivia. They've established a tight beam network. Samantha replied. Very efficient, but also vulnerable. If we can disrupt the flagship, the network would experience significant lag. Olivia nodded. Morgan, prepare targeting solutions. Focus on communication. Erase weapons and engines. No life support. No crew quarters. We disable, not destroy. Morgan programmed the targeting computer. Targeting solutions ready, Captain. But even with conventional weapons, we could only hit a few ships before they overwhelm. That's where the QDS comes in, said Olivia. Catherine, prepare to activate the quantum displacement system. All hands battle stations. Throughout the ship, crew members moved to combat positions. Weapons officers checked their systems. Engineers monitored. Power levels. Medical staff prepared for casualties. Everyone knew they were outnumbered, but they trusted their captain. Catherine worked her console. QDS powering up. Captain, quantum field generators online. Core temperature. Normal displacement matrix. Initialized. How long until full activation? Asked Olivia. 2 minutes, Catherine replied. And Captain, the system will only sustain full operation for about 5 minutes before overheating. Make it count, said Olivia. On the main screen, the Union fleet remained. In formation. Silent, waiting. Their confidence was absolute. 300 ships against 1. The outcome seemed predetermined. Captain Samantha called out, Admiral Kez. Ta'al is hailing us again. Put him through. Olivia ordered. The Admiral's face appeared. On screen. Your time is up, Captain. What is your decision? Olivia stood tall. Admiral Kez Ta'al. I must inform you that your fleet is in violation of neutral space. The ISS Valiant will defend the sovereignty of Earth colonies. You have 10 minutes to withdraw your forces. The alien admiral stared at her, then laughed. The translation software made it sound strange. Human arrogance truly knows no bounds. You would threaten us with one ship, one small primitive vessel against the might of the Union. Fleet. Olivia smiled slightly. Size isn't everything, Admiral. The alien leader ignored her comment. You leave us no choice, Captain. Prepare to be boarded. Your technology will be studied. Your crew imprisoned. Your colony absorbed. All resistance is futile. Catherine caught Olivia's eye and nodded. QDS at full power. She whispered. Olivia turned back to the screen. Admiral, perhaps you should scan our vessel again. The main view screen showed Admiral Kez Ta'al giving orders to his officers. Then the alien leader froze. His four eyes widened. What trickery is this? He demanded. No trickery, Admiral Olivia replied. Just advanced science. Morgan fire displacement pattern. Alpha Morgan pressed the firing controls. The Valiant shuddered as the first salvo of phase shift torpedoes launched. The effect was immediate and spectacular. To the Union sensors, the Valiant suddenly appeared to multiply. First 2 images, then 4, then 16 copies of the human vessel seemed to blink into existence across a 20-kilometer sphere. The phase shift torpedoes behaved even more strangely. They split across quantum states, each torpedo striking multiple targets simultaneously. Union sensors couldn't track them. Their defense systems couldn't intercept them. On the Union's bridge, chaos erupted. What is happening? Demanded Admiral Kez Tal. How can one ship be in multiple locations at once? Sir, one of his officers called out. 30 vessels reporting weapons failures. Communications down on 12 more, engine power fluctuating on 40. Ships fire all weapons, the Admiral ordered. Destroy that vessel. The Union ships opened fire, but they were shooting at quantum ghosts. Most of their weapons fire passed harmlessly through the false images of the Valiant. Only 1 in 16 shots had a chance of hitting the real ship, and the Valiant's shields were holding on the Valiant's bridge. Catherine monitored the QDS with growing concern. Core temperature rising. She reported, "The quantum field is becoming unstable. We need to reduce power hold." It together for 2 more minutes. Olivia urged Morgan target their command ship's next communications arrays only. The Valiant launched another wave of phase shift torpedoes, each one splitting into multiple quantum states, each striking with surgical precision. The Union fleet's coordinated response collapsed as ships lost contact with each other. Donna looked up from her science station. "Captain, they're breaking formation. Some of the smaller vessels are retreating." Admiral Kez Tal's furious face appeared on the main view screen. "What abomination have you humans created? This violates natural law." "No," Olivia replied calmly. "It's just physics you don't understand yet." The battle continued for 3 more minutes, the Valiant seeming to be everywhere, at once striking with impossible precision, the Union fleet falling into disarray. Nearly half their ships disabled, none destroyed but all confused. Inside the Valiant, the strain on the ship was becoming critical. Catherine fought to keep the QDS stable, but it was never designed to maintain so many quantum states for so long. "Captain, QDS is reaching critical levels," Catherine warned. "Quantum field destabilizing projector array showing cascade failures. 2 minutes until total system failure." Olivia assessed the tactical display. They'd disabled nearly half the Union fleet, but the remaining ships were. The ISS Valiant limped through space, its once gleaming hull now scorched in places. The quantum displacement system had taken its toll on the ship. Chief Engineer Catherine Lopez worked tirelessly in engineering, trying to keep the damaged systems online. The QDS was completely non-functional, its core components fused beyond repair. The phase shift torpedoes were depleted, and the Valiant's main power system operated at 70% capacity, but they were alive, and they had won. Somehow won. Human ship had faced 300 Union vessels and emerged victorious. Captain Olivia Mercer sat in her ready room adjacent to the bridge, reviewing sensor logs from the battle. Each recording was more incredible than the last. The quantum displacement system had performed beyond expectations. The Union fleet had been completely unprepared for a technology that defied their understanding of physics. A soft chime indicated someone at her door. "Come in," she called. Science Officer Dana Lewis entered, carrying a data tablet. "Captain, I have the preliminary analysis of the battle," she said. "I thought you'd want to see it right away." Olivia gestured to the chair across from her desk. "Sit down, Dana." "What have you found?" Dana sat down and activated her tablet. "Our sensors recorded everything. The QDS created 16 separate quantum images of the Valiant, each indistinguishable from the real ship to Union sensors. Their targeting systems couldn't determine which was the actual vessel, and the phase shift. Torpedoes?" asked Olivia. "Even more impressive," Dana replied. "According to our data, each torpedo struck an average of 12 targets. The Union had no defense against weapons that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Their shields were Calibrated for conventional physics, Olivia leaned forward. How many Union ships were disabled? 147. Dana said. All non-critically, none were destroyed as per your orders. Primarily weapons communications and propulsion systems were targeted. The Union fleet will need weeks in dry dock for repairs. And the valiant Olivia asked. What is your assessment of our ship? Dana hesitated. The QDS is beyond repair, at least with our current resources. The projection array suffered a complete burnout. The quantum field generators are fused and the power routing systems are severely damaged. Catherine says we can maintain life support shields and warp drive, Olivia noted. But not much else. We will limp home. Yes. But we succeeded, Dana said. We proved the technology works. One ship defeated a fleet. It changes everything. Olivia's comm unit chimed. Captain, this is Lieutenant Wright. We are receiving a priority transmission from Earth Fleet Command. It's Admiral Woods. Patch it to my ready room, Olivia ordered. Dana stood. I'll leave you to it, Captain. No, stay, Olivia said. This concerns your analysis. The screen on Olivia's desk activated, showing Admiral Eleanor Woods. The Admiral's expression was a mix of relief and excitement. Captain Mercer, she said, we've received your preliminary report. The Union fleet withdrew. Yes, Admiral, Olivia confirmed. They retreated to the border of the neutral zone and formally acknowledged New Terra colony remains under Earth jurisdiction. Remarkable, Admiral Woods, said. One ship against 300. Tell me about the QDS performance. Olivia gestured to Dana. Dana, why don't you give the Admiral your findings? Dana summarized the technical data. The quantum displacement system functioned beyond expectations. Admiral, it created 16 distinct quantum images of the Valiant, confusing Union targeting systems. And the phase shift torpedoes were even more effective, each striking multiple targets simultaneously. The Union had no defense. And casualties. Admiral Woods asked. None on our side, Olivia reported, and none on theirs either. We followed protocol, Admiral, disabling systems only. No destruction of Union vessels, no loss of life. Admiral Woods nodded approvingly. That was the goal, Captain, a demonstration of superior technology without starting a war? Well done. But tell me about the Valiant. What is your ship's status? The QDS is completely offline, Olivia said. Beyond repair with our current resources. Catherine believes we can make it back to Earth at low warp, but the Valiant will need extensive repairs. Understood, Admiral Woods replied. Well, send an escort to meet you at the Proxima waypoint. They will accompany you home. Admiral, what has been the Union response? Asked. Olivia Woods' smile grew wider. Chaos. Captain, absolute chaos. Their council is in emergency session. Our intelligence suggests they are completely reevaluating their position toward Earth. Their entire strategy was based on technological superiority. You just proved that assumption false. What happens next? Olivia asked. Woods leaned forward. Diplomacy, Captain. From a position of strength, the Union has requested formal talks. They want to discuss technology, sharing agreements, and establish permanent borders. They respect power. Nothing else. You just earned their respect after the transmission ended. Dana looked at Olivia. What do you think this means for Earth? Captain. Olivia stood and walked to the small viewport in her ready room. It means everything changes, Dana. The Union has been the dominant power in this sector for centuries. They believed humans were primitive newcomers to space, easy targets for absorption into their empire. We just proved otherwise. But with just one ship, Dana said. The Valiant is the only vessel with the Qds. Olivia smiled. The Union doesn't know that. And by the time they figure it out, we will have built more. A chime from the door interrupted them. Come in, Olivia called. Catherine entered the chief engineer's uniform stained with coolant fluid and oil. Captain, I have good news and bad news. The bad news first, Olivia said. The QDS is even more damaged than we thought, Catherine reported. The quantum displacement matrix is completely fused. It's like it was never designed to maintain so many images at once, and the phase shift torpedo launchers are burned out. And the good news? Asked Dana. Catherine smiled. I think I know how to improve the design. The battle data showed us exactly where the weaknesses are. With some modifications we could build a QDS that can maintain 32 quantum states instead of 16 and operate for twice as long. Olivia nodded appreciatively. That's excellent work, Catherine. I also saved this. Catherine added, holding up a small device. It's the QDS control algorithm, the core programming that makes the system work. We can use it to build the next generation. The ship's intercom activated Captain Mercer to the bridge. Lieutenant Wright's voice announced, "Priority message from New Terra Colony." The three women hurried to the bridge. The main view screen showed the face of Governor Allison Carter of New Terra. Her expression was one of wonder and gratitude. "Captain Mercer," she said, "the colonists wanted me to personally thank you. The Union fleet was poised to invade our world. We have no defenses, no military. We would have been absorbed, and then suddenly they just left." "What happened?" Olivia smiled. "The ISS Valiant happened. Governor. We convinced the Union that Earth and its colonies are not to be trifled with. But how Governor Carter asked one ship against hundreds, that's classified." "I'm afraid," Olivia replied. "But rest assured, New Terra remains free, and Union ships will think twice before threatening Earth colonies again after the transmission ended." "Tactical." Officer Morgan Bell approached Olivia. "Captain," she said quietly, "the crew is talking. Some saw the sensor readings. They know we did something impossible out there." "What do we tell them?" Olivia considered this. "The truth, Morgan, but not all of it." Then we tested a new defensive system that confused Union sensors. The technical details remain classified." As Morgan returned to her station, Olivia looked around the bridge. Her crew had performed admirably. Each person had played their part in a victory that would change the course of human history. Yet none of them fully understood what they had accomplished. Lieutenant Wright approached next. "Captain, we are receiving multiple transmissions from Earth news agencies. They want interviews. Statements, anything about what happened with the Union fleet." Olivia shook her head. "No comment, Samantha. Refer all inquiries to Fleet Command. This mission remains classified." Suddenly the ship shuddered. The lights flickered. Dana checked her science. "Station warp field fluctuation," she reported. "The power grid is still unstable." Catherine hurried to an engineering station. "It's the main power coupling," she said. "The QDS burnout damaged it more than I thought. We need to drop to lower warp or risk losing propulsion altogether. Reduce speed to warp 2, Olivia ordered, and begin power conservation measures." Throughout the ship, all non-essential systems powered down. The Valiant slowed its pace, but continued steadily toward Earth. That evening, Olivia sat alone in her quarters reading the detailed battle analysis. The quantum displacement system had performed beyond all expectations, but at tremendous cost to the ship. The Union fleet had been completely confused by technology they couldn't understand. It was a decisive victory, but Olivia knew the real challenge was just beginning. The Union would adapt. They always did. Next time they would be prepared for quantum displacement tactics. They would develop countermeasures. Earth needed to press its temporary advantage, build more ships with improved QDS technology, establish a stronger position before the Union recovered. Her personal comm unit chimed. It was a secure transmission from Admiral Woods, encrypted for her eyes. Only Olivia activated. "Captain," the Admiral said. "We've just received intelligence the Union has recalled all border fleets. All offensive operations have been suspended, and their council has approved immediate diplomatic talks with Earth." "This is unprecedented." "What are they offering?" asked Olivia. "Everything," Woods replied. "Technology exchanges, trade agreements, formal recognition of all Earth colonies. They want access to the quantum displacement technology, of course." 3 weeks after the encounter in the Arcturus sector, Captain Olivia Mercer stood in the Grand Chamber of the United Earth Council. She wore her dress uniform freshly pressed with new commendation medals pinned to her chest. The chamber was massive, with high ceilings and walls of genuine wood, a rarity in the space age. 500 council members sat in tiered seats facing a central podium. Fleet Admiral Eleanor Wood stood at that podium, addressing the assembly. The encounter in the Arcturus sector has fundamentally altered our relationship with the Galactic Union, the Admiral explained. Their ambassadors have requested a formal summit to discuss technology sharing agreements and the establishment of permanent borders. The Admiral paused and nodded toward Olivia, acknowledging her presence. Captain Mercer and the crew of the Valiant have given humanity something we desperately needed: time. The Union's expansion has been checked not by destroying their ships, but by demonstrating capabilities they didn't believe possible. An older counselor raised his hand. And if they determine our bluff, if they realize we have only one ship capable of this quantum displacement, Admiral Woods smiled, by then it won't be a bluff. The data collected during the Valiant's engagement has already led to significant improvements in the system. The next generation QDS is already being installed in 2 additional cruisers. After the council session ended, Olivia found herself alone with Admiral Woods on the observation deck overlooking Earth. They stood by the massive windows watching clouds swirl over the Pacific Ocean. The planet looked peaceful from orbit, giving no hint of the frantic activity taking place in the orbital shipyards where new vessels were being constructed. Penny, for your thoughts, Captain, the Admiral asked. Olivia watched a storm system forming over the ocean. I'm thinking about what Dr. Dawson said when she first theorized quantum displacement. She said it wasn't just a weapon or a defense system, but a doorway to understanding reality itself. The Admiral nodded. The Union has been in space thousands of years longer than we have yet. They never discovered this. It makes you wonder what other doorways are out there waiting for the right minds to find them. Olivia smiled. Maybe that's humanity's real strength. Not our technology, but our perspective. We see possibilities others miss. Well, Admiral Woods said, handing Olivia a data tablet, you'll have a chance to find more of those possibilities. The Valiant's repairs are nearly complete. Your new mission is to take her beyond the Union's territory, into the uncharted regions. Olivia accepted the tablet, feeling a thrill of excitement. Exploration, not confrontation. Exactly, the Admiral agreed. Though I suspect you'll still need that quantum displacement system before you're done. There's a lot more galaxy out there than just the Union. Later that day, Olivia visited the orbital shipyard where the Valiant was being repaired. She took a shuttle from Earth along with her senior officers. Catherine Lopez, Morgan Bell, Dana Lewis, and Samantha Wright had all been promoted. Their actions during the Union encounter had earned them recognition and respect. The shuttle pilot pointed toward the massive space dock. Look there, she said. There's your ship, Captain. The Valiant floated in the center of the dock scaffolding surrounding its hull. Workers in spacesuits moved around it like bees around a hive. The ship's hull had been completely repaired. Its once scorched plates replaced with new ones that gleamed in the sunlight. The name ISS Valiant was freshly painted on the bow. Catherine stared at the ship in wonder. She's beautiful, she whispered. They've completely rebuilt her. Better than rebuilt, Dana said. According to these specifications, they've upgraded everything. The new QDS is twice as powerful as the original, and they've installed an enhanced cooling system to prevent burnout, and the phase shift torpedoes asked. Morgan improved. As well, Samantha replied. They can now track targets through quantum states more effectively. One torpedo can potentially hit up to 20 targets. The shuttle docked with the space station attached to the shipyard. Olivia and her officers made their way through the station to a briefing room where Dr. Allison Dawson waited. The elderly scientist looked more energetic than before, her eyes bright with excitement. Captain Mercer, she said, shaking Olivia's hand, welcome back. The data you brought us has been invaluable. We've made breakthroughs that would have taken decades without it. Olivia introduced her officers. This is my senior staff, the ones who made it all possible. Dr. Dawson nodded to each of them, then turned to a large display screen. The new quantum displacement system, she said, activating the display is a significant improvement over the prototype you tested. The Mark II QDS can maintain 32 quantum states simultaneously, twice what the original could manage. and it can operate for up to 15 minutes before requiring cooldown. Catherine studied the technical specifications displayed on the screen. The cooling system has been completely redesigned, she noted. And you've added redundant quantum field generators, Dr. Dawson smiled. Yes, your battle data showed us exactly where the weaknesses were. The Mark II addresses all of them. But that's not the most exciting part. She changed the display to show a star map. This is the region beyond Union space, she explained, completely unexplored by humanity. At least officially. The Union has some presence there, but it's minimal. There's a whole galaxy waiting to be discovered. Olivia looked at the star map. Her new orders were clear. The Valiant was to explore beyond known space. To seek out new worlds, new civilizations, perhaps even potential allies against the Union. And the diplomatic situation, asked Samantha. What's happening with the Union? Dr. Dawson's expression turned serious. The Union Council is divided. Some factions want immediate war despite the demonstration of our technology. They believe we are too dangerous to be allowed to develop further. Other factions advocate for alliance. They see humanity as a valuable potential partner. And which side is winning? Asked Dana. For now, the moderates, Dr. Dawson replied. But the balance is delicate, which is why your mission is so important. Captain Mercer, if you can find other advanced civilizations beyond Union space, perhaps establish new alliances, it would further strengthen Earth's position. The next morning, Olivia toured the Valiant with Chief Engineer Catherine. The ship had been completely rebuilt, its interior reconfigured to support long-range exploration. The bridge was larger now with advanced sensor stations. The engineering section had been expanded to accommodate the new QDS, and the ship's living quarters had been improved for long-duration missions. This isn't just a warship anymore, Catherine noted as they walked through the corridors. It's an exploration vessel, that's what it should have been all along, Olivia replied. The QDS was never meant to be just a weapon. Dr. Dawson designed it to help us understand the universe better. They ended their tour in the ship's new astrometrics lab where Dana was already working setting up equipment. The science officer looked up as they entered. Captain, she said. Have you seen the latest Union diplomatic transmissions? Olivia shook her head. No. Why, Dana activated a display screen. They're asking about you specifically. They want to know who you are. Your background. Your training. The Union Admiral Kez Tal has apparently developed an obsession with the human captain who defeated his fleet. Catherine raised an eyebrow. Sounds like you made quite an impression, Captain. Olivia frowned. I don't like being the center of attention. What did Earth tell them? Dana checked the records. Standard biography only. No classified information. No mention of your involvement with the QDS development. But the Union isn't satisfied. They keep asking. That's interesting, said Olivia. Why would they care so much about one captain? Unless they don't believe it was the ship, Catherine suggested. Maybe they think it was you personally. Some special human ability. Olivia laughed. The only special ability I had was a good crew and experimental technology. 2 days later, the Valiant senior officers gathered on the bridge for final launch preparations. The ship was fully repaired and upgraded. Its crew complement expanded from 200 to 250, with additional science specialists for the exploration mission. The ship's weapons had been upgraded as well. Not just the QDS, but conventional systems too. Earth was taking no chances. Admiral Woods arrived for a final inspection. She walked the ship with Olivia, reviewing preparations, asking questions, examining key systems. Finally, they returned to the bridge. The ship looks excellent. Captain, the Admiral said. Your mission parameters are in the secure database. Priority 1 is exploration. Map the region beyond Union space. Contact new species if possible. But remember, the diplomatic situation remains fragile. If you encounter Union vessels, I know Olivia said, no provocation, but no submission either. We maintain our rights under interstellar law. Exactly. Woods agreed. The Union respects strength, we've shown them ours. Now we need to show them our wisdom, our restraint. Humanity must be seen as powerful, but not threatening, as the Admiral prepared to depart. She handed Olivia a small data. "Ship from Dr. Dawson," she said. "Her latest theoretical work on the QDS. She believes it could be modified to do more than create displacement images. It might actually allow for instantaneous travel between points in space, true teleportation." Olivia said in wonder. "Possibly," Woods replied. "But completely theoretical. The equations are beyond even our best computers. But perhaps out there," she gestured to the view screen showing the stars, "you'll find something that makes it possible." After the Admiral departed, final launch preparations began. The crew took their stations, the ship's systems came fully online. The Valiant hummed with power, its new engines ready, its